Alright, so here's a boat I'm working on right now. This is one of our rentals. You can see what the issue is here. I've already removed, there's some downrigger mounts and some other mounts for other things that were on the gunwales that are getting removed. This whole thing's getting new paint, topside paint, and then we're gonna do the floor. It's gonna be done with Kiwi Grip. I've heard good things, and I've been on a couple boats that have had it, and it seems to do pretty good. So that's what we're working on today. Gonna get this whole bow rail removed. That's all disappearing, and like this bimini mount. I guess they had a bimini on this before, so that will get all removed. See that one there? And then I will fill all the holes. But I will be sanding first. The joys of sanding. But yeah, you can see here. I mean, it should stick to that starboard no problem, but it doesn't if you don't prep it right. The key to painting anything is prep. So let's get moving. We got that stuff off. This is what we got left. So we got to scrape this, sand it, fill the holes, and then we'll be ready for some paint. What a freaking mess. I mean, look at this. And look, that paint wasn't mixed properly, so you can see all that on my hands. Some of it is actually still wet, and I have no clue how long ago that was done. But that's how you know it didn't cure properly. Wasn't mixed right, something. All right, let's keep going. All right, now we are gonna pressure wash. As you can see, that pressure washing is easily removing this paint. Alright, so that's going to be the process for the most part. So once I pressure wash everything, get all the super loose stuff out. Then I'm gonna run back with some 80 grit and sand everything out, and then we'll go from there. What's up, everyone? We're back here on the Hydrosport. So as you can see, I've got started to sand, and basically what I've done is all that I pressure washed that chunky paint. Basically I'm sanding that into a smooth transition, as smooth as I can get it, that is, with some 80 grit. I still got some spots to hit here. You can see where there's still an edge there, and then as you can see here, there's no edge here. Alright, so that's what's going on right now. I pretty much got the whole top side done. Top up here. Well, the top railing done. That non-skid is a pain. I'm still thinking what I'm going to do about that. That's probably going to get Kiwi grip. That Kiwi grip should fill in all those holes, and we shouldn't have an issue. This is where the bow rail was. You can see. Nice and fairly smooth transition. Same here. So I got to fill those holes and then sand that, and that should all be smooth. And then we should be ready for paint. Up here, this is where it got real bad. That's just from everyone beating the anchor around up here. And I don't know why the anchor locker is so tiny on this boat. This is a 22-foot boat. I don't know what anchor is going to hold with that size. I mean, that's the size of my hand. So we got this going here. Yeah, that'll all get filled in, but that's feathered out pretty nicely. Same there, in here. So I got a little bit left to do back here, these spots here, so I'll show you that process. Here on this Hydrosport, I got one coat of primer on. All right, you can still see in this textured deck here that where that paint didn't stick, you know, you can still see those lines, but no big deal. This is going to be covered up with Kiwi grip, so that'll be good to go. So today, this morning, I got some epoxy in these here. So these are the old holes. I'm just sanding those smooth. That simple. And then we're going to do another coat of primer. And after priming, I noticed that I missed a few spots up here where the cracks were still visible, so unfortunately I had to sand again with some 80 grit. But we'll re-prime that again today, and then we'll hit it with some probably 120. And then we'll start getting that total boat wet edge on. The process has begun. This is coat 2. So we got that. We got our holes filled here. Got all our holes filled on the bow rail, sanded down. And I've got the second coat of primer going on the top rails. I got primer here, and I actually missed a few spots right here, so I'm gonna have to come back and sand those eventually, but this boat needs to get back in the water soon, so we can do some minor touch-ups later. That's no big deal. And so I got all the inside corners painted, and I'm not doing the deck once again because it's getting kiwi grip. So that's going to be the final process, sanded, and then we'll lay the kiwi grip down. So, as I'm stepping in my primer over here. So right now we're just getting around the seat post here. Kind of laying this stuff on thick, but you don't want to go too thick because it's the same as any boat paint. As thin as possible is actually ideal. You want it to lay down nice and even. Remember, this is just primer, so we don't got to be real particular. It's going to be sanded after the fact, so we can fix any low spot or any high spots that we have. Now, I'm no professional at this, guys, so don't critique me too bad here. And it is a rental boat, remember that. And the reason I'm not priming any of this is this paint is all good here. So we're gonna, once we come back and sand this primer, we'll scuff all this. I've already scuffed it with an 80 grit, but we're gonna come back with a 220 and hit that with a final pass before we do our final painting. So we got some drips here, but no worries, guys, we can fix that. Little sanding pad. So it's pretty easy. This is just really time-consuming work. This is day 4 for me. Letting paint dry isn't the most fun thing. So we got the boat all primed. All right, we're good to go. This morning I wiped it down. Actually, I washed the whole thing, sprayed it down with degreaser, scrubbed it really well with a brush, and then rinsed everything out. Went and ran a couple errands, let it dry. So we're going to do a final wipe down with acetone, and then we're going to start to paint this thing. Alright, we got our paint mixed up here. So the way I'm going to do this is brush it, because I don't have another person here to roll. So I'm just going to brush it myself, and we'll see how this turns out. Right here I'm just wiping up any excess water. That's where all the water was pooled in the back of the boat. The sun pretty much dried it all up, but just making sure. You don't want any water down there. Well, she's all done. Looking gorgeous.